Good day to AlphaBest.
As we embark on today's meeting, I want to greatly appreciate everyone for watching this video and for making time to be with us today. The video explains the services that Smart Agri provides and how we go about the digitization of the farms of smallholder farmers. I will show you how we are able to transition rural communities to regenerative farming practices, which do not only enable the production of healthy produce,
Reduce costs of farming, increase yields, but also lowers emissions of greenhouse gases and in turn play a significant role towards achievement of the country's National Determined Contribution (NDC) targets. Smart Agri was founded by women and by Jabulani Madlala as technical founder. The service that we offer to smallholder farmers and rural communities is called Carbon Farming as a Service. Sometimes we refer to it as done-for-you service for the purpose of its explainers. What this means is that we equip farmers living in rural communities with the inputs needed to start farming crops or vegetables or fruit trees. We then assign capable resources like extension officer, land use officer, and agronomist to each farmer. Each farmer is supervised until harvest stage of growth, the supervision including nutrients levels and macronutrients pH, SOC, but focusing on NP and K, and the carbon of the soil is emphasized. With this model, we handhold each and every smallholder farmer all the way. We all know that there is a huge agriculture market in the emerging countries for services that are focused at assisting smallholder farmers. It has its own challenges, but not an impossible target market. We also all know that potentially smallholder farmers own more land but supply less food. Why? 1/3 of the commercial supply can be increased if they are included in the agricultural economic mainstream, if they are provided with the needed tools, and if they are given market access. In South Africa, there are agricultural economic challenges. Few commercial farmers benefit more from access to markets, while over 4 million smallholder, subsistence, cooperative, and backyard garden farmers get the crumbs of the market as a result to the lack of access to finance, education, modern farming skills, technologies, and modern mechanization. Land ownership is very much skewed, as shown in this slide. We need to change this unacceptable scenario and commit to the transitioning process, the transformation of the agricultural sector. We need to measure how many smallholder farmers are becoming commercial farmers year-on-year basis. As mentioned in the previous slide, what is needed or required is access. This is where Smart Agri business model fits in. Analyzing farm data using Earth observation satellites involves utilizing high-resolution imagery and data collected from space to monitor and manage agricultural activities more efficiently. Satellites equipped with advanced sensors capture valuable information about crop health, soil conditions, moisture levels, and land use patterns over vast areas. This data is processed and analyzed to provide insights that can help farmers optimize their practices, such as determining the best times for planting and harvesting, detecting pest infestations early, and managing water resources more effectively. By leveraging satellite technology, farmers can increase crop yields, reduce waste, and promote sustainable farming practices, ultimately leading to more informed decision-making and enhanced agricultural productivity. Where do we start with the farming as a service process? It all starts with the digitization process. Without the digitization, we will not be able to provide the carbon farming services. We will not be able to use the technologies. What does digitization of the farms mean exactly? Simple answer to that question is that we need to first establish and know the farm boundaries, and we then need to know the field boundaries. Field boundaries are important when planting different type of crops or vegetables. For livestock farmers, we need to know the land or paddocks where the animals will be allowed to graze. It is really about establishing these boundaries in your farm. Our extension officer visit the farm, discuss with the landowner before drawing the boundaries. Once the farm or field boundaries are drawn up, then it means your farm is now visible to the global farming and agriculture commodity communities. It is only at this stage that the farm is ready to utilize all the technologies mentioned in the previous slides. The produced digital file can be utilized in tractors, in irrigation pivots, in farming equipment and machinery, by satellites, and integrated to any software. A place marker is then placed on your farm after giving the farm a name to be remembered with. Anyone Googling for farms will now have yours pop up in the results page. Depending on the ranking, it may be in the first few pages of Google or Bing or similar search engine. As stated in the previous slides, these are the outcomes of establishing your farms and field boundaries. Remember, we do this with the farmers while we are hand-holding them, thus ensuring transfer of skills, knowledge, and capacity building. Analyzing soil is a crucial process that involves examining its physical, chemical, and biological properties to determine its suitability for various applications, such as agriculture, construction, and environmental management. This analysis typically includes assessing soil texture, structure, pH levels, nutrient content, and the presence of organic matter or contaminants. By understanding these factors, farmers can optimize crop yield through tailored fertilization and irrigation strategies, while construction professionals can ensure the stability and safety of structures. Furthermore, soil analysis aids in environmental conservation by identifying pollution levels and helping in the restoration of degraded lands. This comprehensive understanding of soil health is essential for sustainable land management and achieving ecological balance. We first physically analyze the soil on each farm to establish the needed baseline measurement. This will be compared with satellite data in the future, then calibrated accordingly using artificial intelligence models. Every field will be mapped, analyzed, monitored against any diseases, adverse weather, fires, temperature, climate change condition, pests, and unwanted growth on the farm. Remember, our extension officer and agronomist are always there to inform you of any changing conditions. We provide the mobile app that can be downloaded from the App Store to each farmer. Most households have access to at least one smartphone. Any device can be used to download the mobile app. Currently, all Android devices can use the mobile app, be it a phone, laptop, notebook, iPad, or similar. The results of the digitization can now be viewed via the mobile app. No need to have a laptop or a desktop computer. Weather forecasts on the farm can be viewed. How much water is on the soil? By using moisture indexes, through this app, we are able to view the soil condition at different depths. You will now know when to use your irrigation. The mobile app provides a soil condition summary to the farmer, just like the doctor provides the script to be followed over a period of time. The prescription is provided in the local language of the farmer. No need to only speak English or Afrikaans languages. We can monitor nutrients, macro and micro, throughout the farming season. The color scheme communicate a message and action required on the farm. Remember, you have an extension officer at all times to explain and clarify. We use our virtual agronomist tool that connect with the Earth observation satellite that orbits around the globe and around your farm, periodically monitoring and collecting the needed farm data. We send these satellites to collect the data in your farm. This data is presented to the agronomists to analyze. The agronomists discuss the data with the extension officers before visiting your farm. Smart Agri-IoT back in 2020 was the runner-up in an Africa-wide competition that demonstrated the use of Earth observation satellites in the agriculture and forestry sectors. This competition was chaired by several global space and the South African Space Agency. We employ environmental and soil scientists that provide the baseline data and that provide the periodical physical tests, annually or every 5 years. These tests' results are important as they need to be validated and verified at some point by independent bodies. The artificial intelligence engine tool behind the prescriptions have to continuously calibrate the data and store it in the cloud. We measure and calculate the quantities that are collected in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. We calculate soil carbon against the baseline projections that were done after the digitization process at the beginning, and that I spoke about in my earlier slides. Once the analysis is completed, the results will be shown in a color scheme that is understood by the physical agronomist, the extension officer, and the land use officer for communication to the farmer or the landowner. Farmers will be expected to follow the tasks based on the prescription provided. The prescription follows regenerative farming practices as stated in my earlier slides. For agroforestry farmers, the prescription will be different to just agriculture farmers. Remember, doctors never provide the same script to every sick patient. For crop or vegetable or tree planting, there will be appropriate and relevant farming practices to be followed. By using wrong mechanization, we can be destroying the carbon stored. By using the wrong type of fertilization, we could be destroying the carbon stored. These practices are important to be followed at all times for healthier soils. Healthier soils will result in healthier foods. Healthier foods result in better health. Farmers that wish to benefit from South Africa's carbon tax will then have their farm data captured into the government portal that is provided by both the Department of Forestry and Environment and reported into South African Revenue Service. Every year, the farmers will be compensated for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Our extension officers will guide each farmer of the needed data for the government tool. The monitoring can be done from any location around South Africa's provinces, districts, or municipalities. In the future, Smart Agria will be building towers similar to airport towers for this monitoring. Monthly changes to the soil properties will be monitored and captured and stored. The captured carbon dioxide will be stored in the soil and monitored. The soil is used here as a carbon sink or as the storage. Now you know why it is important to manage the soil better. From the application of the organic fertilizer, the reduction of the nitrous oxide gas will be monitored. The animals grazing in the open grasslands will be monitored from less methane arising from the improved grazing practices to be implemented. Initially, sheep, cattle, both dairy and beef, will be the focus for the monitoring.